Okay, so this is one that I've really been stewing on for quite a while now. I'd finally put together the document for it. I'm really excited to go over this. This is how to not quit as an insurance agent, how to stay in the game, how to be able to persevere and actually get to the point where you're able to really make this into a career that's super, super fulfilling for you, like the clients that we work with on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to break down all the facts behind the insurance business, a lot of things that I think recruiters won't tell you when you're first joining. And then I'm going to go over how you can kind of get to the more desirable points that I'm going to talk about and where the really successful agents are at. So I won't waste any more time. I'm going to get right into it. Okay, so what we need to really examine, right, is what the agents who don't quit do. And I think that's super important because when we look at the facts, you'll see why that's important because actually in reality, most agents quit. Like almost all of them quit. I'm going to read the stats for you here. And like according to Investopedia, if you don't know Investopedia, go look them up. They're a very well-respected journal here. 90% of new agents quit in their very first year. 30% leave in the first 90 days. Over 5 years, if you were to have 100 agents join a firm in 2020, by 2025 in that same firm, only on average 5 of them would be left. So over 5 years, 95% of agents end up leaving the industry. That is a pretty remarkable figure to say the least. So I think in light of that, you can realize why it's so important to study what the agents who don't quit do, right? So like I said, and then even going beyond that, right, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there were 409,950 life insurance agents in the United States in 2020. Of those, under 39,000 were actually earning $100,000 a year or more on their salary. So it's a little bit less than 10% who were able to earn 100 grand a year. And that's of the people who have stayed in the business, right? So like you have to realize like those like 409,000, whatever it is, like a lot of other people have tried insurance and it didn't really work out for them too well and ended up leaving. So the number of people who've attempted it is probably a lot more closer, I'd say, to like a million in the last like few years. And only 39,000 of those million or whatever have been able to actually figure it out and earn $100,000 a year. Now, this is good for a couple of different things, right? Because if 39,000 people are earning 100 grand a year, I mean, that's the size of a pretty decent town, right? Like it's a lot of people. Like 39,000 is quite a few people. So clearly it's a proven model. So, okay, we know that it's worth it not to quit, right? Because that's the important thing is, you know, there's no point in persevering at something that's doomed to failure, right? Like there's no point in actually trying to not quit for something that, you know, hasn't been proven to work. Maybe in some circumstances, if you're, you know, Amazon and you're on the forefront of building something, then you have to persevere through something that hasn't been proven yet. But if 409,950 people had tried Amazon and then you go and try it and it doesn't work, well, you can't really blame yourself because you're kind of persevering at something that doesn't work, right? So he was the first guy to really try it and the first guy to be successful with it. So clearly we can see 39,000 people earning a pretty, I don't know what your guys' personal benchmark is. I think 100 grand a year is a pretty decent salary. Like I don't think that's bad by any, you know, stretch of the imagination. I think a lot of people watching this video would be perfectly happy with 100 grand a year. I think that's kind of a goal that a lot of people have. There's kind of that 6 figures, 6-pack type kind of whatever perfect person analogy or whatever. Again, that's very subjective, but just that's kind of the stereotypical standard of, you get the point I'm trying to make. 100 grand a year, good money. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, Um, like I said, so it's been proven now that, okay, this is a good model to go off of, and clearly that there is something worth actually persevering and pursuing here when it comes to being an insurance agent. So let's dive into the behaviors of the people who are both unsuccessful and successful. So let's start with the people who are unsuccessful. So why do 95% of people quit? Why do 95 out of these 100 agents to join a firm quit? So first of all, completely unrealistic expectations are what sets a tone for, I'd say, I don't have any stats or anything like this, but based on the experience of people that I've talked to and the people that I know in the industry, I'd say this probably accounts for half of it. Right here is just completely unrealistic expectations coming in. Maybe you knew somebody before who had been doing it, earning 100 grand a year, and you didn't realize how hard it was for them to even get to that point. Right? They've probably been doing it 10, 11, 12 years, and they're making that kind of money, and you're in your first month and you're expected to make like 5, 6, 7, 8 grand, right? So those types of expectations, when you're expecting one thing and you get something else, can be very, very hard to kind of cope with that. And I think that leads to a lot of people quitting. So, not to say that you can't aim high and you can't aim to be one of those people earning 100 grand a year. I just think you need to realize, hey, you're not going to be able to do it overnight. And it's going to take some work to be able to get there. You don't want to be the guy who comes into the office, does 2 cold calls and expects 1 client out of that, right? Like, you've got to realize, like, this is going to take a lot of volume, a lot of work, and a lot of grinding on your part. So I think that's probably, I'd say, the biggest thing is just the expectation factor. The next I'd say is no confidence or past sales experience, right? So people who haven't been in sales, like when you get into sales, you develop a lot of confidence, especially when you start closing. I think honestly, if I ever have a son, first job I want him to get is a sales job. You learn to work with people. You learn how to become valuable to a company and how you need to win, right? You need to be able to sell in order to earn more money. So there's a lot of really amazing lessons that you learn as somebody who's in sales, and it develops a lot of confidence in you as well. When you're able to, just talk to a random person, make a connection with them, and get them so interested in what it is that you're offering them, and make them realize what you're offering them is going to be able to really help them so much that they actually follow through and buy it. It gives you a lot of confidence. It gives you a lot of confidence having that. So not having that confidence is probably a little bit correlated with the sales experience. You might come in with pretty realistic expectations. I'm going to have to do this volume, not realizing, well, you still have to sell people at the end of the day. So you might get these responses, but then you have to actually get on the phone, meet with them in person, do whatever else, and you're still going to have to sell them. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's, for a lot of people, I think why they quit is they just don't have that sales experience. And to be completely honest, sales is not for everyone, right? Some people, I think, just need to kind of push past it and realize they can be a lot better at it than they need. But some people, they just aren't salespeople. They're just better off doing something else. And for those people, it's okay. So I think for, another 30% of people, they probably just aren't a salesperson or don't have the confidence because they never had that sales experience before. And I think that ultimately can be a make or break thing for quite a lot of people as well. And then the last reason, I'd say this is probably the least one, but once you kind of get past the unrealistic expectations and know how to sell, it becomes, how do you market yourself? Because if you're getting, on the phone, or if you're meeting with new prospects all the time and you're closing them, but you just can't find new prospects for the life of you, it becomes very, very difficult. I mean, leads and prospects are the absolute lifeblood of your business as an insurance agent. That is what you need to succeed. So if you don't know how to market yourself, put yourself out there, get in front of people and draw people to you so that you can actually sell them in the first place, it's going to be very difficult for you, and you're probably going to end up quitting at some point if you can't do that. So with that said, that kind of covers some of the traps and some of the behaviors you shouldn't fall into. But what do the 5 agents out of 100 who stay at the firm after 5 years, the agents who don't quit, what do they do, right? First of all, and you can call me Captain Obvious if you want, but they stay in the game, right? I don't think you guys realize how important perseverance can be. There are some people who are just so stubborn. They go, 39,000 people are earning 100 grand a year. If 39,000 people are doing it, I can do it too. And they just don't quit. Like, no matter how hard it is, they just make the decision. Yeah, I'll just get there. Like, I'll get there eventually. And they might not be very intelligent. They might not know what they're doing. They might like figure things out the hard way and learn lessons the hard way every single time. But just on sheer perseverance alone, you can make it to this. Like, if you stick there for 5 years, I mean, you're going to learn a heck of a lot more than if you're to quit 2 years, in down the line, 1 month down the line, 90 days down the line, right? So I think an important lesson, this doesn't just go for insurance agents, but just to make money in general, is you have to stick with something long enough to get good at it. I think we all know this. I don't need to harp too much on that. But some people will make it just on sheer perseverance alone. One of those 5 guys probably isn't, a whole lot more intelligent or better at the job even than the 95 people who quit. He just decided to stick there for longer than they did and ended up making it work somehow, right? So that's something to keep in mind, is you can do it on sheer perseverance alone if you have that kind of willpower. However, a lot of people don't have that willpower, or not having that willpower. There's just much smarter ways to go about it than just trying to brute force your way into just staying and playing and never really learning, the aspects that you need to learn. So the other things that these 5 agents do is they understand all aspects of their job. I think a lot of people, and this again falls into that completely unrealistic expectation camp, think all I need to do is underwrite and, my company will provide leads to me and I'll be fine. They don't understand their job is not just underwriting. That is arguably one of the least important things you can do, at least for your own personal success. If you're being selfish about it, it's probably the least important thing you can do. It's the most important thing you can do in terms of actually helping people, which is why you should want to do it. But selfishly, it's the least important thing that you can do. The most important thing that you can do is understand you are a salesperson, a marketer, and a networker, right? Think of all the popular guys in your firm who are absolutely killing it right now. Are they underwriting a lot? Yes, but why are they underwriting a lot? Because they have a foundational understanding of network and marketing. So they're constantly bringing new leads to them, bringing new people in to the insurance business, drawing them in, and then they have an ability to be able to sell them as well. So like your time split should probably be close to like 80 to 90% marketing and selling and 10 to 20% underwriting. Like, you should be spending most of your time going out, finding people, educating them on why they need the insurance, why they need your policy, why what you guys do is so great, and how it is that you can help them. Underwriting is just, what happens after that, right? That's just the last process of like, you just need to educate them that they need your help. So that is a really big key, is these 5 guys, and even the guy who persevered understands to some degree all aspects of this job, because in order to underwrite, he's going to learn over those 5 years. He has to do some sales and marketing. He might learn slower than the other 4, but he will learn it because he persevered. So and for any agent to be successful, at some point, they're going to have to learn to do these 3 things: network, market, and sell. They're going to have to. So that's an important thing to realize too, is you need to understand all aspects of your job. Third, they don't rely on their company for leads. They go out and they take the responsibility over the lifeblood of their business, because you guys need to realize leads are the lifeblood of your business. Without leads or prospects, you are not selling anybody anything. You need leads in order to be able to sell insurance. You need somebody to sell insurance to. You need a lead to sell insurance to. Without leads, you have no business. It doesn't matter if you have all of these things in place. You're not underwriting anything if you don't have any leads coming to you. I've went in depth many different times over many different videos over different lead strategies, be it, buying leads from vendors, relying on leads for your company. You guys can check out some of my videos on that. I'm not going to harp too much on that, but you guys need to be in charge of your own lead generation process, because the leads that your company gives you are not very good most of the time. There are some exceptions, but especially when you're starting, they're not giving you, like the good leads. They're giving the people who, these 5 agents, the good leads, because the good leads, they want to make sure they're selling every single one of them. So they're going to give you kind of more of the crappier leads to just, see what you can do with it. And then if you're worth it, then we'll bring you up to the A side. But a lot of people, they realize this very fast. Same with lead vendors. You don't know how many different people these leads have been sold to, how many times they've been contacted, how old they are. Maybe it's 5 years ago and they already signed up for a life insurance policy, like, 4 or 5 years ago, right? So anyway, guys, like I said, I've made so many different videos on all of these different topics. You can go check them out on my YouTube channel. The point is, you need to rely on your own leads. You need to take that responsibility for the lifeblood of your business. And every single one of these 5 agents learn that they need to do this at some point. Maybe not all of them have to make it on sheer perseverance, but they need to understand their job and understand that they are responsible for generating their leads ultimately. Right? So the way that we help insurance agents generate their leads is through our exclusive lead system. Now, the exclusive lead system is a done-for-you, multi-dimensional lead generating process. This focuses on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. That way, if one of your lead sources go down, say Facebook goes down, you still have TikTok and Instagram to be able to market on, right? So it's a done-for-you process, includes lead nurturing processes to help capture more lead conversion. This means that every single lead that comes into the system is being shot an email or a text campaign as soon as they enter the system, just because we want to make sure we're not actually just generating leads, we're actually converting on them as well. We're not just in the marketing, we're in the sales. We understand that you can't just market and get the leads. You have to be able to close them as well. Now, with this system, we teach you how to manage it, or we can pair you with a trained and qualified virtual assistant. And unlike other agencies out there who are going to charge you ridiculous monthly retainers, you own this system. We hand it off to you once it's completed. So once this system is completed, made for you, the entire thing is just handed off to you. This is the lead system that I'm talking about right here. This is what agents who are taking responsibility of their lifeblood of their business are using in order to generate those leads and be able to continue to pump more lifeblood into the heart of their system and into the heart of their business. If you want to find out more, you can shoot a comment down below this video, or you can send me a DM on pretty much any social media. I'm on all of them. It was really fun making this video. This is one that I wanted to make for a while. I just wanted to make sure I had everything together, got the stats right and everything for you guys, and was able to do it professionally. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments. And yeah, peace. Take care, guys.